Hello everyone, hope you're having a great day. Today we are going to speak about emotional resilience episode 3, where I'm going to speak about how evaluating your specific emotions is helpful in building up emotional resilience. I am Menaka. For those who don't know me, I'm a transformation with resilience coach and author and a speaker. In episode 1, I spoke about how it is important to connect to your true emotions, and in episode 2, we went through how to specify or be definite when you're identifying your exact emotions, and today we are going to see how to evaluate them. For me, it all boils down to 3 things: what, why, and how. What do I mean by it? What is the emotion you are feeling? So when I say the emotion you are feeling, what exactly is the connection between the emotion and what you're feeling? For me, the example I can tell is I didn't study in English till I went to dental school. And for me, so every time I have to, for a long time, even though I'm a dentist, I practiced dentistry for 23 years plus, and I had my own business. I was training other people and teaching other people, but I still had this limiting belief inside me, right? And to top it, someone told me that my English is not good enough, and I owned it. So that was my thing. Whenever I wanted to do a presentation or write something or voice my opinion publicly, I had this kicking into me and I became anxious. I experienced fear and I became very conscious when I have to present something or speak in front of many people. And I also know someone else who is used to be scared of driving in the morning, because that caused fear, because that particular individual had an accident in the morning. So every time they thought about driving in the morning, that caused fear, anxiety, stress, or they wanted to block that thought. Then let's go to why. Why is the reason why we want to delete or distract or involve in certain behaviors when you feel that emotion. So I love chocolates. The reason I love chocolates is I associate chocolate to pleasure, and I feel it is going to give me, so that's my belief, strong belief I have. In the contrary, in the past I held this belief that if I had to go and speak publicly or do a presentation, it was a feeling of ridicule, or people might judge me, I might not be good enough. So it created the anxiety, overwhelm, and I was fearful of that situation, and it stopped me from doing it. And for the other person I mentioned, for them, driving in the morning meant they associated that with negativity, right? So that stopped them or affected their life in a way that they couldn't or they wouldn't want to, or they didn't feel comfortable doing that particular process of driving early in the morning. So that is your why, and it also shows you why sometimes we want to press that delete button as soon as that emotion comes, or why we want to shut it down, or why we want to distract ourselves. We all distract a different way, right? Some of us go to chocolates like I do, and some of us go into for a smoke or have a drink, or recreational drugs, or party like mad, or travel the world, or some people do exercise. We all have our own mechanism, own way we have coined ourselves to cope with it, right? But all these things happen because we are trying to protect ourselves from experiencing a thought or experiencing a feeling, right? Which is our um, our way of protecting ourselves, or our brain protecting ourselves from it, because as soon as the brain sees the red signal, that we are giving that signal to say, okay, fine, if we do this, we are going to feel like this. And then what the brain says is, okay, don't do it, and we stop. It is good to protect, because that's why we have this fright, flight, and fight reactions, right? But on the other hand, also it stops us from growing, it stops us from learning, it stops us from being creative and exactly be where we want to be, right? So that's the reason it's important to understand the why. Then comes to the how. What do I mean by how? How frequently are you feeling this feeling? How this particular emotion making you behave? How this particular emotion is related to your belief or a person or a place. When you understand the connection of how these are linked between your thoughts and your emotions, your beliefs and your actions, then it becomes easier for you to go and alter it, navigate through it, navigate around it. Someone explained to me years back in the best way I have understood. It is almost like a road trip. If we go through the trip with the understanding and the knowledge where the roadblocks are going to be, where it will slow you down, where it is the difficult streets are, or the motorways or whatever, that will help you navigate through the drive much easier, because you will avoid those things, or you can navigate around them. And sometimes you have to go through them, but that awareness of how to deal with it will help you equip to go through it much easier, right? So this is what I mean by when I say it's important to know the how, what, and why. So yesterday in the episode 2, I asked to write down every emotion, every specific emotion you feel every 2 hours, at least record it. Today, I would request you to write down the what, why, and how of those emotions, what you're feeling in those every 2 hours you're doing. That will help you to understand it even better, a level deeper. And please share this with anyone who you think will benefit from these videos, because the entire reason of doing this is to help other people. The reason I am passionate about resilience is because I have gone through quite a few experiences in my life where I had to develop this resilience from a war zone, or from a linguistic barrier, or relationship breakdowns, or even being diagnosed with a stress-related illness for some time, and transform from all that into who I am today. So I am still work in progress. I still do this exercise when I feel I am a bit out of balance, or something is or someone is affecting me in a negative way. I go back to all these mechanisms to help me. And this particular time is almost a particular time of challenge for everyone. People are confined in a very small space, and we are not used to not having that freedom to get up and go and do whatever you want, wherever you want to be, with whom you want to be. All the choices have been taken away from us, right? And that's the reason everybody's feeling so much of overwhelm and stress, and particularly even children are finding it hard to be confined into this small area where children are not used to, really. And I would say it kind of reminds me of the time when, due to the conflict back home, we used to be confined in the home for a long period of time. We used to be like stockpiling, but I guess we had a really close community. And when you're a child, ignorance is bliss sometimes. We don't really understand the full effect of what's happening around us. So I think this is a really good time for us to start looking closely about our emotions, how we feel, and understand ourselves and accept ourselves for who we are, and also equip ourselves with the tools and strategies how we can navigate through these difficult times. Thank you so much for listening. As ever, I'm really grateful for all the support. I really want to thank one person in particular, Sudha Mani. If you're listening, thank you so much for helping me with the StreamYard and setting all this up, because I'm really new. I am learning as I go along. So thank you so much, and thank you for each and everyone who encourages me to grow and learn these things every day, and hope this helps you guys in the meantime. I will see you tomorrow with the episode 4, where I'm going to speak about altering your reaction or how you respond to these emotions. Until then, stay safe, stay happy, and stay connected. Thank you.